What up, what up, what up? It's your boy James, aka Ralph's favorite, 1/3 of TBD The Radio Show. You're probably saying, yo, get to the video. Before we do that, I just want to say we appreciate you watching, we appreciate you listening, and we would also appreciate if you like this video. And if you're not subscribed to the page, subscribe to the page. And your support is greatly appreciated. So remember, it's all TBD. And let's get to the video.
Simone, they are frying her up for a bunch of reasons on the internet. And I feel kind of bad for her in one sense, but at the same time, I don't. But it's a tricky position because I don't really want to need. I'm thinking about her mental health and whatever.
It's not tricky, B. It's not.
All right, let me tell what's going on. So B Simone was recently on a podcast.
Who is B Simone, B?
B Simone is somebody. She's a comedian, podcaster. She was on Wildin' Out, right? She was on Wildin' Out. She's some entertainer, comedian, entertainer. She was recently on a podcast with her best friend.
I didn't know they were on it together.
Yeah, she was on a podcast with her best friend, and she was emotional, explaining how basically saying she's, as far as capital, liquid money, she don't have it, and the comment that it has everybody in uproar is her saying that I'm in Bloomingdale's.
Wait a minute, B. Before you go there, rewind back to her best friend being on the podcast. Okay.
I'm gonna get to that. So, those were the same podcast, right? Or was it two separate podcasts?
That's two separate podcasts. The best friend story about having a celebrity best friend.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll get to that. So B Simone is on the internet. They're killing her for saying that she don't have the money, and now she's in Bloomingdale's, and now she has to go to H&M. I've seen a bunch of reactions to that. A lot of it has been from women saying, I like H&M. Like, I don't know what the problem is. H&M is dope. I've seen that a lot. I've seen people bring up the older clip of her saying to Nick Cannon, see how she couldn't date a guy who has a 9-to-5.
Manifested it. I'm trying to manifest a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9-to-5. I get it. They work hard. I used to have a 9-to-5. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You work hard. You have money. I get it. I need an entrepreneur. I need somebody that understands my mindset. Somebody that has the same lifestyle. It has nothing to do with money, everything to do with lifestyle. Okay? You understand my life. You understand what I'm going through. I want to manifest that. What do you want in a man? What do you want? Let's start there. What do you want? Let's manifest it, baby. You can have it. Whatever you want, you can have it. Manifest that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with a nigga with a 9-to-5. Ain't nothing wrong with an entrepreneur ass nigga. Manifest whatever you want. I want to manifest an entrepreneur ass husband. I don't care what you do. Entrepreneur, graphic designer, sell t-shirts, sell drugs, rapper.
I think that's a little unfair because I don't see how those two clips are related. I think it's just people looking for the get back, like, you didn't want a guy with a 9-to-5, so now you got to shop. I don't get that related. The more interesting clip that has resurfaced is the one with her and her best friend, where her best friend is explaining how it's hard to have a celebrity best friend because people think you being within that distance of a celebrity that you doing good because you're in close proximity to that celebrity, where the best friend was explaining, like, no, I was really fucked up out here. I had my car repossessed. I was getting food stamps. I was fucked up while I'm watching my celebrity best friend give checks and take care of people.
Sometimes when the public perception is like being a best friend with a celebrity, everybody thinks that, because you're connected to this person, then your life is just as grand as theirs, or you got
it, or they helping you.
Baby, when I tell you, didn't have a job, living with my parents, a single mom, all this happened to me this past year.
Jesus.
And then it's like to not have resentment in my heart towards you because I saw you do this for other people. I saw you give a check to somebody to help them through whatever they went through. And it's like, God, like, I love from depths of my soul, and I can't get nobody didn't give me a handout, but guess what?
So they're frying her up for that. And her reaction to her best friend saying that was,
Jesus.
like, it wasn't really authentic.
That's
It didn't
why I
come.
didn't think
It didn't come across
it was
authentic.
her.
I'll say this: it didn't come across authentic.
It didn't.
I think the most interesting part of this is where the best friend, they're talking about this, which is dope. Where she says to her best friend, forgive me, I can't remember her name, but her best friend said to B Simone, "Yo, I got this opportunity," and B Simone's reaction was, "I'm convicted," which she probably meant I'm conflicted. Got off the phone, then called her back, and then, said that she don't know how she feel about this. She would imagine basically if you were going to have this opportunity, I always imagine us doing things together and like opportunities together, like making money together. And it wasn't the reaction that you would think somebody that you call a best friend would have, where your best friend call you, regardless how they feel. If you happy about some shit, I'm happy for you. I'll have my own thoughts, but at the same time, even if I don't see it as being the opportunity that you feel it is, I am going to curb that and just say I could be wrong. Let me just be in this moment happy for my best friend. It's a lot to unpack with that conversation.
I do want to have the conversation with the ladies.
Yes, we are going to have this conversation with the ladies.
I will say that I think that the latest video, not the one with her in the market, but her saying how, gasp, I have to go to H&M versus Bloomingdale's. I feel like that was in response to the first viral clip with her best friend. Like, right. I don't really got it like that.
Yeah.
Like, I know what she said, but here's the reality. I don't really got it like that. But B put me on because I didn't realize that the best friend was having this conversation with her. I thought she was just on a podcast and was just talking about it.
No.
That make it even crazy because, right, I heard her say,
Jesus.
B Simone ain't shit. And I'm going to tell you what. Because and here's a question for you, but before you answer my question, Reggie, I do want to hear your thoughts about it. And I've been wanting to ask y'all this before. If you were rich, how would you carry your best friend? Right? I'm simple when I got money. Like I'm paying for all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Not because I'm trying to flodge or I'm trying to show off. It's just because I got it and it feels good to have it. And I want y'all to have the same feeling as me. And I'm going to try my best to make sure that you have the same feeling. If it's something that we all made, cool. But if it's just like I'm the up one and I say, yo, come on, fly down to Florida. I'm going to pay for y'all flight. You know what I mean? Chances are the type crib I got, y'all can stay in my crib. You know what I mean? I'm going to pull out all the stops for y'all. That's probably to my own detriment because sometimes I spend like the money is eternal and it's not. But that's just type nigga I am. Like we go all out to dinner. I want to be able to pay for all of us. I feel very awkward when we all got to split the bill.
Yeah. So to touch on the last thing you said, just about how you would behave if you were rich, right? And I think that most people, if they've ever put $1 on a Powerball, they've given some thought to what they would do if they hit the jackpot, right? and we're talking about, let's just say 200 million, right? I actually kind of did the math on what I would spend. And I feel like everybody that I've had any type of relationship with is probably going to have some tier of money, right?
Yeah.
Probably the ones closest to me is going to have more than, maybe somebody that I'm just cool with, right? But I kind of feel like everybody that I've had relations, like any type of relationship with, they're probably going to get some type of money. And it doesn't even have to be a large sum, but I know just the average person, this includes myself, if one of my distant friends was to hand me $10,000, that would help in a lot of things in life, right? A lot of things, either we putting that towards college, we paying off some debt, like $10,000, $20,000. That can help somebody get over any obstacle that they have in life. So I've already thought about that, even to my nieces and nephews that are babies, right? Trust funds, all of that. With my friends, like, so you got my friends, my best friends, my best friends, I want them to not have to work.
Right.
So for me, and not having to work is not meaning that every time they need something, they got to make a phone call to me. To me, I look at it like this. If you, in my mind, if your job that you currently work, let's just say you make $120,000 a year, right? I'm going to give you that times 30. Right. That'll be 30 years, because in 30 years, we're all going to be in our 70s, right?
Right.
So 30 years at 120 is probably $3 million, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody that's my best friends, they're going to get that. So they don't even have to depend on hitting me up. You got that amount, right? So I kind of actually did that math in my head, where that type of money, I feel like your job is to change people, and your job is to help people. So when I hear stories about, like, and it always pops up on my timeline every now and then, I hear a story about Jay-Z and him, not giving his nephew or something $5,000, some petty amount of money, right? And to me, that would never be me, because especially you got that type of money that it ain't going nowhere. Like Felicia was telling me, one of her friends, I guess one of her a friend of hers has a family member that was in the NBA, and he spent a couple years in the NBA. He spent some couple years playing overseas, but like right now he ain't really doing much. But like his NBA like community just sends him money, and I kind of like told her about like NBA contracts and how the money is astronomical. And spending somebody $10,000 and you worth almost $1 billion, like somebody like James Harden, who got $500 million just from Adidas, not even from a NBA contract. I mean, it's crazy. Like it's the type of money that you can't, unless they stop printing it, that money ain't going nowhere. I mean, so yeah. I feel like that will be that should be your blessing to kind of get that money away. I will say about B. Simone, what was kind of cringy for me, but in some degree, like kind of poetic justice, is just her kind of crying over her change spending habits, right? And to shed tears is kind of wild, because you didn't say you can't shop at all. You're just saying that you had to shop at a certain store. Yeah. And there's some people who can't shop at all. And yeah, we
the budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing. I've never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M. Yeah. Like I notice it in me now. Just
and yeah, we can't always compare those types of situations to ours, but I think that when you do, it creates a certain level of humility. That you should not be crying because you can't spend what you used to spend. It's kind of cringy to me. And then when I hear the rest about, her friend, that I can't be making it. And now obviously everybody can't be next to me, but listen, man, your job is to, when we broke, my job as your friend is to support you. And but it's only one way I can support you. I got no money, right? So like D said, like, I'm gonna support you. I might be like, man, you can't rap, bro. Know what I mean? But I'm gonna buy the tape. Know what I mean? I'm gonna buy the tape. Know what I mean? Because that's the way I can support you. But if I'm getting money, then that support got me a little more than do that. No,
me in the studio.
Yeah, like
finance this album, bro.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
and then the last thing is this. I would not be somebody that's gonna be like, well, if I give you this money, this what you gotta do with it. Know what I mean? Like sitting there trying to micromanage. Like, yeah, I don't want you down K&A, but not me. I want you going there. Right. But if you have a passion and it's something that you want to do, I'm gonna support you. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And then I might laugh at the end. We might laugh together. Like, but I'm gonna support you. So yeah, I don't like that whole her best friend kind of feeling like that. That's that's nasty word.
No, that's how I feel. So I'm gonna be the biggest. If I come up on hundreds of millions of dollars, number one, my best friends are not going to be able to tell that they didn't win that money too. Like it's not going. You're not going to be able to tell. You're not going to be able to tell. Number two, I'm gonna be the biggest investor in. Everybody got an idea, a money making idea. I'll invest in that. I'm also going to have a couple of businesses that are going to make money. Whereas if your dream didn't come true, I got something over here for you that's going to make money. So,
nigga, come run this Chick-fil-A.
Right. I already told you, James. Like, I mean, you're going to be my stylist. You're going to be my stylist. So, I mean, just stop all this other shit you're doing.
Yo, a classic line that I posted on Facebook 14 years ago today was from the movie Lottery Ticket. Bow Wow, when he said, money doesn't change you, it changes the people around you.
Yeah.
And I just thought how ironic and appropriate it was for this conversation that we were having.
Yeah, it definitely changed the people around you. And it's crazy.
Yeah, because we give you up. I'm on your jack. What's up?
Right.
Would you feel some kind of way about that? What? I don't think I would. Like,
I know my financial advisor is going to tell me all the reasons why I shouldn't do X, because if I do X,
right, don't answer James' call when he calls.
X is always going to be expected, and then the first time you don't do X, it's not, you're going to feel stupid because they're going to talk about you like everything except for a child of God.
Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.